Hello everyone and welcome back to A Beginner's Guide to Toon Boom Harmony. Today we'll look at a handful of tips and useful tools that may help you smooth out your animation workflow. So let's start. So first thing I'm going to show is how to apply the vectors from the line art to another art layer on multiple frames at a time. You can do it one frame at a time, but it's kind of time consuming if you have a really long animation. But I'll show you on this little example I just made to show you how you can save some time with it. So first thing you got to do is take the selection tool, and in tool properties we're going to activate two options. The first one being this one, which is permanent selection. What it does is your selection is now grayed out when you make one, and where it's useful is it keeps the selection on multiple frames. You can see that it wouldn't keep the drawing selected if I didn't have this activated. Second thing we're going to have to activate is the following one, which is apply to multiple drawings. What this does is it will apply what we're going to do to this drawing to the other ones that are selected, like the name would suggest. And so now that we have this done, all we have to do is click on Create Color Art from Line Art, and when we go into the color art, we can see that the vectors are everywhere in the color art on every drawing. So this is done. Second tip, still with the same animation. This time I'm going to show you how to create some kind of fill color that will just fill the silhouette of what you have drawn. Keep in mind this only works in vector drawings. So we have our animation, and we are just going to make sure that the right layer is selected, and we're going to Drawing and Generate Automat. We have this window popping up. We're going to check Apply to all drawing to make sure it goes through the whole timeline. Destination art is the art layer where it's going to make the silhouette, and the radius is the margin for error for the filling, because it's a bit broad and it's not very precise, but you can choose to have some kind of margin for error. 200 is a lot. I think 50 should be pretty good for this. Clear destination art, it's only necessary if you have unwanted drawings in the underlay art in this case, but I don't, so there shouldn't be any issue. And we click OK. And we can see that it works pretty well here, but keep in mind this is on a very simple shape, so it works rather well. On more complicated shape it won't always work, but it can give you a good basis to polish and to gain some time when you're filling in your animations. It can be pretty handy. It doesn't work 100% of the time, but it can save some time. Third thing I'm going to show is the synced layers. In this file I have 3 layers that are already synced one to another. You can see this because when I click on one of them, you have this linked icon that appears on the other two. And what synced layers mean it means that when I change the timing on one of the layers in the timeline, the change will also appears on the other layers. This can be really handy if you divide your workflow in several steps. In this case, I started. I made a layer specifically made for vector lines because I started cleaning up this animation, and I made it synced so that it's already created with the same drawings and timing. And to do that, you go on a drawing that you want to create a layer that is synced to it. You right click and add synced drawing layer, and you create it like any other layer. And when it's created, you see that it's created, it's drawing 8, it's created with the same timing. And again, if I change timing here, it changes for every other synced layer. If I show only this drawing, you can see that it's totally empty, but where it's useful is that all the timing will always be exactly the same as the drawing layers that it is linked to. If you want to unlink a drawing to another, you just right click and unsync layer. And here we can see that if I change timings here, it's only on this layer and not on the others. And if you want to have it synced back again, same thing, right click, sync layer with, and I'm going to say drawing 6. And it's linked back the way it was with the others. Fourth and last point. Has this ever happened to you? You finished the inking over a sketch that you made and you kinda like it, and now you want to erase the underlying sketch. Hello darkness, my old friend. Fortunately, this is not the end of the world and we can correct this. So let's come back, and with the select tool, because we're working in vectors, and keep in mind this only works in vectors, since the palette, since the colors on screen and in your drawings will always refer to colors in your palette, in this case the blue here refers to these colors here, what you can do is, with the select tool, in the tool properties, you click on this red arrow, which is select by color. You can select the color of your sketch and just hit delete. And you have saved your drawing. And that's it for today. I hope this will help you a bit with some of the issues you may have faced. Join me next time for an introduction to the fundamentals of tween animation or cutout in Toon Boom. Until then, take care.